Well, thank you very much for the news. Although, sadly, what you didn't say is that it's snowing outside and it's, 6 foot deep and, you're going to love your walk home, but hey-ho. So, coming up in the final hour of the A-Word here, we do still have in the studio with me John Joe Elliott. How are you doing?
All right, all good.
We still have Ellen Booth. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
And brand new into the studio, we have Dan King, Leicester-born artist, musician, singer.
Hello.
Yes, we're going to be chatting with all of these, so stick around. Yes, indeed. Dan, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm good.
How are you
I'm
guys?
very,
All
very
good,
good.
yeah.
All good.
Yeah, good.
So, Dan, just oh, by the way, Dan, I've
Yes.
put you, by the way, as a frisky lo-fi rock. By the way,
That's my genre.
that is your genre.
I don't know what my genre is, so yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'd never heard this genre until tonight, because one of my basically I have a What's On section on this show, and it's done by my guru Ruth Clues. She used to work for Great Central Magazine, but she gives me the What's On around Leicestershire, and she gave me at the Cookie. There's a fella called Willie J Healy. He's coming to the Cookie at the 1st of March, and the Guardian described him as frisky lo-fi rock. And it was very similar to TMO.
Okay.
It's very well. I'll play TMO in a little bit.
Yeah, that might be just down to the my equipment not being that good, but there you go.
I love it. Okay, so Dan, tell us a bit about yourself.
I'm born and raised in Leicester. I'm 28, and I make my own music videos to my own tunes, more or less, and I'd sometimes do artwork. And I'm continually trying to work on a project whilst working a 9-to-5 kind of job. And just trying to get out there.
Get your name out there, make it.
Trying to create
do what we
something.
all do. Trying to make it in the industry. And we came across each other through some mutual friends, I think, as well. And I've looked at some of the films, short films that you've put to your songs and stuff, and they're brilliant, mate.
Oh, thank you.
The song that we're going to play later on, that I'm dubbing Frisky Lo-Fi Rock. It's a brilliant song.
Oh, thank you, yeah.
Me and my wife listened to it, and she said that it had like a 70s-esque, like a bit of an ELO type feel to it.
Well, ELO is they're one of my influences.
Oh,
Jeff
well
Lynne,
then,
yeah.
she nailed it then, to be
But
fair.
I'd say I wasn't thinking of any in particular. It's just everything goes in, and then,
Yeah, just shake up the bucket and see what comes out.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, so on the topic of what, let's talk to you, Dan. Okay. Tell us a bit about you. Let's rewind. And where are you from? What have you done? Give us your life story in as many words as you see fit.
My goodness. Okay. So I've been raised on music, as I'm sure loads of people have. And one day, I think when I was about 21, I decided I want to be a musician. Picked up a guitar. Never had any lessons, and I've evolved from there to write my own songs and work on projects of albums and music videos that relate to them. And I believe I'm trying to create art in a way that I believe that a music video is 50-50 with a song, and it's just as important. And I'm just trying to get something out there in terms of like an art project that people will go, wow, this is amazing. And I've been doing that for 3 years, and it's stop start with this video project of these music videos that all join together to make a larger story.
Yeah, so the song that we're going to be playing in a bit is called TMO.
Yeah.
Now I believe that means love. Is that right? Or
well, it's basically a love letter to my partner, my girlfriend, because she sent me in a text once, TMO, and it's just any inspiration can just come from anywhere, and then all of a sudden a whole song idea just appears out of nowhere in my mind, and then I'll just write a whole song. And just one text saying "te amo," and she says it means "I love you" in Spanish. I
believe it's Spanish.
Yeah. And I work at a retail store. I on my break would sit in my car writing out the words, recording it on my phone, and just demoing it to myself. And then eventually you just keep digging away at something to create wherever you can, whatever opportunity you've got, no matter what's going on in your life. I think, as long as you keep doing a little bit each day, you'll eventually get something. And this is why I've stuck with these other video projects for so long and not giving up on them, because I know what I need to do. I just can't do it all the time. But a little bit each time will eventually... I call it Andy Dufresne, like from Shawshank Redemption.
Oh, okay, slowly, yeah.
Yeah. One day he's got a huge tunnel that he escapes on the prison. It's like, how did he make that? It's like every little day goes down to the courtyard.
Cool.
Chip away with a spoon.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant! I mean, I was going to wait to play this, but I'm not. I'm going to throw it in now because it's honestly it's a brilliant tune. I really, really do like
thank
it. I can see your influences. Where you've come from.
Yeah.
And like I said, for those who heard a song that we played earlier on, it is a bit of frisky lo-fi rock, in my opinion, a little bit similar to Willie J. Healy.
In the creek, by a brook, I wait for the sun.
What a bouncy, happy tune!
Awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Honestly, mate, you
Yeah.
sat here with a look on your face like you want the ground to swallow you up. That's
Well, yeah.
amazing.
Well, thank you very much. I don't know what to say to that.
It's such a
Cool.
honestly, it is such a fun, happy. It's the sort of song that people want in this time of Brexit nonsense and things like that. That's
Yeah.
the sort of song, a bouncy, happy. Forget your troubles,
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
sort
man.
of song. I've just got a text come through that I've got to say. It's from somebody called Aaron, and he wants my microphone. Aaron, no. Just no, he's a mate of mine. No, Dan, honestly, that song. You said that you sort of did it bit by bit, like when you were on your lunch break at work.
Demoing it to myself, working out how the chorus would go, like, because rising up the harmonies and thinking that don't work, let's do it this way, and writing out a song whilst trying to work in retail. And it is difficult, as I say, for if you want to do in life what you want to do in life, but then you've got to obviously hold down a job, and it's a little escape. And if you keep doing something that you love each day, you'll eventually hopefully get somewhere where you want to be. That's my philosophy. Yeah.
I mean, I can totally agree with that. I really, really can. And we were talking before. You saying that you've written loads of material, haven't you?
I've written 2 albums worth.
Is it all a similar theme to TMO, or is it?
I'd say so. Yeah. I'd say there's going to be some like darker songs maybe in there. But I'm writing a 3rd album as well. But I'm trying to get the first album out first, and the first album is 80% done, I'd say, and I've got to sometime at the beginning of this year go and record drums with someone Paul Collin. I've got to go and record drums with him.
Okay.
And then eventually just release it and get it out there. Release 3 music videos with that as well, which join up to Tiamo, which is already out on YouTube. If you go to Dan Harrison King, or you can go on Facebook, Dan Harrison King, you find all my pages on Twitter and Instagram. Tiamo is the first of a story of the music videos all join up basically, and I'm into classical music as well, so what I'm thinking of doing is I've got all this footage, but I've obviously got to condense it down to a song length of a video, so I'm thinking of making an extended video for each one and then releasing it as a short film with the songs that were part of the video done in a classical way with tubas, trumpets, violins, everything like that.
Oh, nice. Well, that's a nice
Yeah.
modern twist it's a nice twist on a modern track, really.
Sounds
Yeah.
awesome, man. Sounds great.
It really, really does. You should be, crazy, crazy happy with your products that you're putting out. Honestly,
Thank you
that
very
song
much.
especially, absolutely fantastic. So, one question then: where do you see yourself in 5 years' time? It's a question I like to ask a lot of people. I think I might ask John Joe as well in a minute, but let's go for you.
I'd say I'd happily be doing this on as much and earning a living just so that I can get by. That's honestly, I don't want anything else other
Be
than
able to
that.
pack up the retail job and just to be able to
But I say
concentrate more.
that this song was written in 2015, and I've quit that retail job since then, and now I'm a delivery driver.
Okay.
And that is a lot better for creativeness because you spend time with yourself, and when you're not doing something, because you have to wait around a lot as a delivery driver.
Oh, yeah.
And you can basically get more work done when you waiting around, kind of thing. Like, and in terms of recording demos and writing stuff down on your notes on your phone. I was saying, 5 years' time, if I'm making as much money as I make just doing the delivery job as with making my music, I would be happy. That's fine. As long as I get by, yeah.
That's a brilliant way to look at it,
Yeah. and
that's-
get
that's-
the music and the videos out, because it's been 3 years already, and I'm still working away at them. I need to get them out, but yeah. There you
Okay,
go.
well, time will come. Time will come. You've obviously worked really hard on TMO, and it shows. John Joe, yourself, where do you see yourself in 5 years' time? I mean, to be fair, you're smashing it all over the world right now. So, are we going to throw like a John Joe canvas on the moon?
Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know. I don't honestly know. As long as I want to still be making art, what the art will be. I don't know at this point. I don't know. I think just keeping going as I am. I'm happy. I'm a happy person. And I want to stay like that.
I like it.
That's the goal.
You've had a grin permanently on your face the
Yeah.
entire time.
I'm loving
we've been-
this, man. This is great.
That's what it's about, though, and that's especially what the A word is about. It's about getting together, and showing off what Leicestershire has to offer. And right now here in the studio, we've got 3 fantastic people.
Yeah.
John Joe Elliott from DMU, graduate from DMU. We've got Dan King, who we just listened to your banging tune TMO, and Ellen Booth, who's a producer from Curve. I mean, come on.
This is how connections are made. Me and Dan were just talking about the possibility of an exhibition of his work down at my gallery space. I'd love to do something like that. I'd love to get your work
That'd be
down there,
great. I've
showing people.
thought about it. Yeah.
See, that's exactly
Well,
what
I've got your
this show's
details now, mate. So yeah, there's
There's
a
no
good
hiding
chance
now,
I'll be in
Dan.
touch. Yeah,
It's been recorded, so
yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah.
about. Oh, brilliant. Okay, let's go down. Let's go for one of your A word playlist songs. then.
Okay.
Which song would you like to hit it off with?
Let's do "Dance the Night Away" by the Mavericks.
And why did you choose this? Because
Yes.
this is a proper classic tune.
It may be like, oh, why did he choose this? Because this was one of my nan and granddad's favourite songs, and they're no longer with us. And my granddad especially is one of the pioneers in my family of doing music. He sang, because the big Elvis fans my nan and granddad were, and they said this kind of sounded country and Elvis-y kind of. And I just remember this song so much as a kid, and every time I hear it, it reminds me of them. And my granddad, my grandpa, who did music, he influenced my dad, who my dad influenced me. So it's just passing on, the music ability, I guess.
Brilliant.
The A Word with Andy Pearce. BBC Radio Leicester.
Ba-da-ba-ba. What a tune. What a tune. The Mavericks and Dance the Night Away. Your grandparents had taste in music. That's Dan King's A Word playlist song choice here on the A Word. If you're just tuned in and listening to me, Andy Pearce, on the A Word, BBC Radio Leicester, we've got Dan King, who is a Leicester-born musician, filmmaker, all sorts. We've got John Joe Elliott, DMU graduate, and we have Ellen Booth from Curve. She's a producer, and we've just been talking about loads of stuff, basically. I was just saying, I've really enjoyed tonight's show because
It's been good.
It's been great.
The guests that we've had have just, I love it because we always have guests from here, there, and everywhere. I've really, really enjoyed tonight. Don't forget, in February we've got the 12th of February and the 19th of February. The A Word is going to be coming live from the Cozy Club here in Leicester, all part of the Leicester Comedy Festival. So that's going to be an absolute fantastic event. It really is. And yeah, I've still got a few more songs to fit into the A Word playlist, haven't we? So Dan,
Yes.
let's go for the Beach Boys one that you chose.
Okay.
And how come you chose this one?
Brian Wilson's a big. You say pick the songs for the playlist. It is very difficult because he said that a song Tiamo sounds a bit like ELO. I didn't even think about picking an ELO song, but they are one of my influences, as I say. So, but Brian Wilson is a very big influence for me, and the way that he created music. I mean, Here Today was on Pet Sounds album, which didn't do well at the time, but has since become one of the classic albums out there, like Sgt. Pepper.
Yeah.
And how the Beatles and Sgt. Pepper, Sgt. Pepper and the Beach Boys' Pet Sounds, they both influenced each other. So Beach Boys make Pet Sounds, Beatles respond with Sgt. Pepper, and then Brian Wilson tried to make an album called Smile, which eventually became Smiley Smile. And Smiley Smile is nothing like Smile, but anyway, its vision of creating didn't sit well at the time with the other members of the band, but as time's gone on, you realise what a creative genius he was.
He was actually ahead of his time.
Yeah, it's like it's just mind blowing, really. What he created. But Here Today, as I say, is off Pet Sounds, and it's one of my favourite Beach Boys songs.
It starts with just a little glance now.
There you go. That's Here Today, and that's by the Beach Boys. That was your A-Word playlist song choice, wasn't it, Dan?
Yes.
And you were giving me a bit of a lowdown about the track and about how he sort of pioneered certain aspects of the song, like the talking in the background and things like that, didn't you?
Yeah, well, to say the whole album was written by Brian Wilson because he stayed in the US whilst the rest of the Beach Boys went on tour, because Brian Wilson was just had enough of touring. He wrote the whole album. He got the Wrecking Crew, which is like a studio session band, very famous in LA and California, to basically record everything. When the Beach Boys came back, they put their vocals and harmonies on it. And I was just saying, there was certain things that Brian Wilson did that didn't sit well with Mike Love, especially in the band, like very, very quiet talking in the background, which is one of the first times it's ever been around the time done. And Mike Love just thought it was really,
absurd, I suppose.
Unprofessional, and like, you can't have that. And it's like, well, why not? It's part of the music. And on that track you heard, you can hear this little talking in the background. It's just little things like that.
No, I love it. I absolutely love it. So on the A-Word, I like to do what I call a Fandens fact. So let's throw your final A-Word playlist song in, Dan.
Okay, it's Beatles, I'll Get You. And as I was saying, I just know practically everything about the Beatles. Not as much Beach Boys, not as much as the Beatles, but I'm playing this one because of the experience I had going to Liverpool and going around the sites, especially the Casbah Club, which is one of the first places that the Beatles played at before the Cavern Club.
Brilliant.
Where I got to meet the Best family, because they run it, like Pete Best, the original drummer.
Oh,
the
Wow.
Best family run it, and there's like graffiti in the wall saying John, and John was here.
Brilliant.
And it's like it's better than the Cavern Club's great, but there's nothing better than the Casbahs for me. I really want to go back there.
Oh yeah. Imagine I'm in love with you.
All that is left for me to do is to say thank you very much to all of my guests. We've had Matt Ford, we've had the What's On from Ruth Clues, John Joe Elliott, Dan King, Ellen Booth, the girls from Art of Identity, everybody. Thank you very much for an absolute fantastic show. Cheers, fellas.
Thanks,
Thank
dude.
you, Andy.
Yeah, it's been brilliant, mate.
You've been absolutely fantastic.
Loved
Stories,
Stick around.
music,
No worries, man.
life.